Purple Pond YouTube channel. We will discuss today about one of the main features of Budget 2021 announcement. If you look at the announcement in 2021, there has been no major changes on the personal income tax slabs, but for the waiver of filing of returns for the super senior citizens. One of the new regulations which will impact very hard for the high income earners is the taxation provision on interest of PF contribution. On 3rd March, when there was a news flash saying that EPFO has announced not revising the interest rate downward from 8.5%, and the applicability of 8.5% was also granted for the financial year 2021. This brought a lot of cheer in the faces of a lot of employees. But this was short-lived if they look at 1st April 2021. What happens after 1st April 2021? Cutting back to how this was very useful in accumulating retirement corpus, or a corpus where your contribution is tax-free, enjoys a tax-free status, your growth of the contribution is exempted from taxation, and when you receive the PF amount, when you consume the PF amount, that was also tax-free. So you were enjoying the EEE taxation regime with respect to contribution to the Provident Fund or EPF. This was one of the most tax-efficient investment for high income earners. Come 1st April 2021, the budget provision says any interest which is earned beyond a contribution of 2.5 lakhs will be taxed at the slab rate of the individual. This will apply only to the employee's contribution. So employer contribution would be exempted from this rule. And whatever interest that you will be getting on the accrued amount or the opening balance of the PF amount which attracts interest has no impact due to this new regulation. Person who pays a PF taxation of up to 20,833 a month will not be impacted by the new regulation. A person who pays more than 20,833 will come into this taxation of interest earned. So the interest up to 2.5 lakhs will be tax free, and beyond that it will be taxed at its normal rate of taxation. This also has an impact on people who use this as an effective accumulation tool. A lot of people use this with a combination of VPF. They can contribute VPF along with the PF, mandatory 12%, and they can also contribute VPF on a monthly basis. This was effectively used by the employees, and now when they do the VPF contribution, they will have to be very careful that PF and VPF put together does not cross 2.5 lakhs of contribution. If it crosses, you will have to pay the tax on the interest it generates at your normal rate of taxation. Adding to this, there is one more change which is coming on 1st April, is the new wage code. According to the new wage code, your salary, basic salary, is supposed to be at least 50% of the total salary. So currently if you look at it, the basic salary would be around 30 to 40% of the total salary. So when this new wage code takes into effect from 1st April, the salary structures will be rejigged and automatically your basic will go up. You will have the benefit of the employer paying you extra. I mean, there will be an extra additional payment from the employer. However, your basic goes up, your PF contribution will go up, and in addition to that, if you contribute VPF, most of the time, people who are in the brim of crossing that 2833 will now cross, and the contribution will become, the interest on the contribution will become taxable. Having said all this, what is the way out? We have been using a particular way of accumulating which gave us tax effective EEE status of the contribution, and today it is withdrawn. Nothing can be done about instrument which has been withdrawn or a facility which has been redefined. What we can do is we can look at alternative solutions of accumulating and getting a tax efficient corpus at the end of the retirement or for any other goals. So this particular provision, when it makes it the VPF contribution tax inefficient to an extent of more than 2.5 lakhs, then you can look at investing into debt mutual funds. Debt mutual funds, when I say debt mutual funds, these funds are not going to have any impact on the market volatility. The debt funds are primarily on bonds, and they are coupon paying instruments. They have coupon paying instruments, so the linearity is to a large extent assured. What you will have is you will have a linear growth in your contribution, and when you withdraw, you will be subjected to a long-term capital gain tax after indexation benefit. Typically, this long-term capital gain tax after indexation is almost less than 10% of your gains. So you have an alternative where you will pay very minimal taxation and you will also be able to grow your corpus. If you look at it, if you don't follow this debt fund route, the next possible outcome what you can do is you will contribute your VPF into an interest bearing instrument such as a post office scheme or a bank deposit. All this income will be classified as other income and you will be charged at your nominal rate of taxation, which will definitely make your income tax inefficient. So one of the best alternative solution is to look at debt funds for your contribution if your contributions is going to exceed 2.5 lakhs per annum. This is further enhanced by adapting one more strategy. You can look at adding a small dose of equity in the debt fund. Those funds are called conservative hybrid funds, which have 80% of the investment in debt instruments and 20% of your investment goes into equity. This 20% can act as a portfolio booster, and you are likely to get a return of close to 8 to 10% on your contribution on an annualized basis. So if you are willing to assume a small equity dose, you can look at conservative hybrid funds. If you don't want to include any equity, you can look at banking and PSU or corporate bond funds, which are primarily a AAA rated funds, which where you will face very low risk. So friends, do not get disheartened that the facility of contributing to VPF has become unattractive. There are other alternate solutions. We will be able to handhold you in understanding the other alternate solutions, and we will be able to channelize your VPF contribution in the form of an SIP or in the form of a one-time investment, whichever is convenient to you, into debt mutual funds and help you maintain the status quo on your accumulation efforts. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. We will meet in the next video with yet another concept which will help you accumulate wealth seamlessly. Thank you.